Very good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and HomeBasedTravelAgent.com, I want to welcome all of you to today's webinar, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be with us today. We have a really exciting presentation for you all about Cruise World, the wonderful meeting happening in November. Our title today is Cruise World, Your Best Business Decision This Fall, powered by Travel Weekly. We have a couple of wonderful speakers with us to give you all the information you need about Cruise World. First up, we have Jennifer Cruz, Enrichment Program Consultant for Travel Weekly, and Mary Pat Sullivan, CTC, President of Sullivan Marketing Advisors. We also have with us our very own Joni Ogg, CTC, MCC, President of Joni Ogg Marketing Group, and the First Lady of our travel professional community. Joni and her husband, Tom, are the co-owners of HomeBasedTravelAgent.com as well as Travel Professional Community. Joni, say hi.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to welcome everybody and thank you for being here today. And I truly do hope that I get to see all of you down there at Cruise World. It is an amazing event. Mary Pat and Jen have worked very hard on this presentation, so I know it's going to be awesome. Enjoy it, everyone.
Thanks, Joni. Before we get started, a reminder to everybody that we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. When the speakers are finished with their presentation, we will get to as many questions as we can. Also, stay tuned to the end of the presentation to hear some very exciting news about some big giveaways from Travel Weekly. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mary Pat so she can get started, and I'll be back a little later to ask your questions. Welcome, Mary Pat.
Thanks, Sandy. Hi, Joni. I'm always happy to be in Joni's community. For those of you that haven't heard me say this before, this is one of my favorite places to hang out. I think some of the smartest people in the business hang out in the travel professional community. So I know that that's all of you that are on the line with us today, so we really appreciate it. And with respect to Travel Weekly and their events, what I do is content development for Travel Weekly. Many of you may have heard me on the webinars, and for Travel Weekly and Travel Age West, I moderate those. At Cruise World, I work actually very closely with Joni, who I love, on the content development for this event. And this is what you see on the screen here, these little bubbles, just kind of give you an idea of all the different things that happen at Cruise World. So you C-suite keynotes. This is something Arnie Weissman loves to do. For those of you that don't know Arnie, Arnie is phenomenal up on stage. He loves to interview the CEOs. So each of the major cruise line CEOs will take the stage Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They'll give an overview presentation, and then Arnie will interview them. We have sessions that focus on social strategy. We have ship inspections on the day before Cruise World starts on Tuesday, and then again on Saturday and Sunday. So when you're thinking about your travel plans, we'll go through all of that agenda. We have CLIA training. We have a full-day exhibitor showcase. We have one-on-one meetings where you'll get the chance to meet face-to-face with the suppliers in a sit-down meeting, not just a traditional trade show. Plenty of opportunities for networking. I'm a huge believer in networking. We'll talk about that. Meal functions are all sponsored, so your breakfasts and your lunches are included and sponsored by those that are supporting the travel agency community. We have a president's panel, 8 of the presidents with us this year. We have a senior VP panel, a lot of fun that Joni and I do. I'll get into all of that. Technology workshop. So this is just to give you an idea of everything that we do. And it takes a few people to get this done. So even though Jen and I are with you today, there's quite a team of powerful women, as you can see. Not that we're sexist or anything. We just happen to all be women. This is the team that puts Cruise World together for all of you. And as I was looking at this, and I mentioned this to Sandy earlier, it really frustrates me because, Joni, you and I are the senior statesmen in this group. A lot of young, energetic women on the Travel Weekly team. Really smart group. So plenty of hands on site to help you guys when you get there, and we want you all to be there. So here's the overview. We're going to go through when, the where, the who, the what, and the how. Traditional journalism for you there, thanks to Travel Weekly. Cover all the basics. So here's the date and location. November 11th to the 13th. Just a little aside, the 13th would be my 27th wedding anniversary. So if you're there, please remember that. I'm going to have my husband fly in, jump on stage with me. Full day exhibitor showcase is on the 12th. Ship inspections, as I mentioned earlier, the 10th, the 14th, and the 15th. Our location is the Greater Fort Lauderdale Broward County Convention Center in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. We're right there on the water. Great location. And our official housing block is at the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Marina. So when you go on the website, you'll see housing opportunities, and we have an excellent discounted rate at that property. So who are our attendees? I'm going to let Jen jump in a little here, but let me just take you through what you're looking at on the screen. So in the top left-hand corner, that's a one-on-one meeting that was happening last year at Cruise World. We'll have, as I said, one-on-one meetings for all of you in attendance, scheduled one-on-one meetings with suppliers. The upper right-hand corner is Norwegian Cruise Line's lunch from last year. They had such a good experience. They're coming back again, so Andy Stewart will be up there for lunch one of the days that you're there. Look at all those smiling faces on the lower left. That is the opening of the exhibitor showcase on Thursday. And if you notice, some of them have champagne glasses in their hands. Well, that's thanks to Dondra Ritzenthaler and the folks at Celebrity who sponsor our ribbon cutting. So you get a little champagne toast along the way. And that little photo on the right, that is our Masterminds panel. This is something fun that Joni and I do. And when we get to the session descriptions, we'll give you a little bit more detail. But trust me, it's a fun session. But you learn a lot about the people who craft the sales and marketing messages for the industry. So, Jen, you want to share a few stats with the folks here about who our attendees are?
Of course, Mary Pat. I'm constantly evaluating the event audience, and you should all know that we do this in depth so to best provide Cruise World attendees with event programming that's relevant and engaging. So who attends Cruise World? So far this year, over 50% of those on board for the event are either past attendees or were referred to the event by a past attendee. And this is really a testament to the Cruise World experience. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of advisors who will be attending this year because of a positive past experience or reports from a colleague of a positive past experience. And we just love that. Like, we love it. We love that the event has such a positive impact that advisors want to return and reconnect with us every year. Something else we pride ourselves on is the diversity of our audience. About 1/3 of our attendees are somewhat new to the industry with less than 3 years experience. So if you think you're too new and maybe not quite ready, please consider joining us in November. There are tracks, and Mary Pat will speak all about the event content in a minute, but there are tracks within the event agenda designed specifically for newer and developing advisors. About 1/3 of our attendees are industry veterans. So on the flip side, if you feel as though maybe you've been there or done that, there is programming designed just for you as well. And some of our best testimonials have been from seasoned vets who hadn't been to a live event in some time and who were blown away by their experience at Cruise World last year. The balance of our attendees are a most impressive group of advisors who've been in the game between like 3 and 10 years, and they are hyper-focused on business development and growth. The point I suppose I'm trying to make is that there is something valuable at Cruise World for all advisors at all levels of experience, and that's intentional because we know who our audience is, and we, of course, aim to please. As of right now, 80% of our Cruise World attendees are home-based. 20% operate in another model, be it a retail storefront, a corporate environment, or a call center. A very interesting statistic that I've been tracking for a while now is 78% of our audience, regardless of work location, indicate that they own or manage a retail travel agency. And 74% of those indicate having at least one independent contractor working within the agency, and the majority have several ICs. So when I look at the statistic and I align it with the number of home-based agency owners who attend, I'm super impressed and excited to see the shift of perception in how a home-based agency operates and how that model is evolving within our industry. I'm trying not to get all nerdy on you again, Mary Pat, but you know how hard that is for me when I talk about the event audience because it's something I eat, I sleep, and I breathe. Yeah, I know I can't help myself. 65% of our audience is either hosted or are franchise owners, and 35% operate independently. The average Cruise World attendee sales portfolio breaks down to a 60-40 international domestic split, which is a really nice balance. And finally, to highlight, Cruise World is not just about cruise, and I always say don't let the name fool ya. Cruise sales make up 50% of Cruise World attendee revenue, and the other 50 comes from land-based travel. And because we know this, we bring more than just cruise to the table. And with that, I'm going to turn the mic back over to my dear friend Mary Pat, who will showcase exactly what it is we do bring to the table at Cruise World.
Isn't it great to have a geek on the team? She's good at statistics. But I'll tell you, what's important to me is that there is tremendous diversity in our audience. I love the fact that 50% of repeaters, they come back because they fall in love with us. Trust me, we're good people to be around. We work hard. It's a great event. You'll have fun. You'll learn. Some of those folks may be listening right now were first-time attendees, over the years have become speakers themselves. That's the other thing I love about this event, is our attendees turn into our presenters over the years. I can remember running into one of our attendees who was a brand new agent about 4 or 5 years ago on the escalator, and she was telling me how excited she was to meet Arnie Weissman. And 3 years later, she was a speaker because she's over $1 million in business. She's built this incredible cruise group business, So this is what we hope to do, is turn you guys into speakers too. So let's look at Cruise World. So Jen was talking about the testimonials. We have a phenomenal list of testimonials, and I promise we didn't write them ourselves. If you go on our website, you can read the testimonials. You'll see what Jen pointed out about the agents who've been in the business a long time. I think what a lot of us have seen, for many of you that may have been in the business a long time, people don't do this anymore. You might go to your consortia event, you might go to one event a year, but you don't get out in the marketplace and mingle and communicate with others. And so many of us, I'm working from my den today. We all work from home. You need a little motivation, and so I think that's what people find. The ship inspections, another very important element of our event. There are very few events these days where you can see multiple ships at one time. You're selling these products to your customers. You need to be on them, touch them, feel them, see what they look like, understand what your customers are going to experience. So we have that opportunity for you to do multiple ship inspections, another big part of it, and you can see that's one of the things that Pat found valuable. So okay, we mentioned the prize giveaway. We're going to talk about it at the end, but here's what we're going to do, folks, just so you know. We are going to pick 10 of you that will win full registration and 5 of you that will win full registration and airfare, okay? So we're going to announce them tomorrow from the full database. We want to make sure we have all of you that are here. But if you're so jazzed today and you love it, you can register today, and we'll refund your registration if you win. So, because you may end up missing out on a ship inspection. We have a huge audience today, so if you want to register today and you pay your registration dues and then you win, we'll refund you. So don't worry about that. So let's talk about the keynote speakers. I mentioned this. I'm going to take you through the content now. These folks will all be taking the stage with Arnie. Frank Del Rio is Friday, Arnold Donald is Wednesday, Richard Fain is Thursday. What's really important about this, and for those of you on the line to understand, we're talking to some consumer media about this too. These guys want to talk to you. You're the sellers. They get it. They get how important you are, so they spend the time clamoring to get up on that stage and talk to all of you and address you and tell you how important you are. They know you are to their sales process. They're going to give you updates on their products and services, and then Arnie will have some conversations with them. So we really look forward to these sessions. The mastermind panel, I'm going to have Joni make sure she chimes in here a little bit. The faces have changed a little this year. We have a couple of repeaters who we love to have with us, Vicki and Dondra and Ken, and some newcomers joining us this year as well, because as we all know, the leadership within the cruise lines has changed a little bit. And as I get into this mastermind panel, this is reminding me of one thing. We don't just have crews at this event, but the reason you see all this cruise leadership up on the stage, we're in their hometown. They all want to be there. They all want to be up on stage talking to you. So we have plenty of other topics that we cover at this event, but we are in the hometown of these execs, so we get them all up on stage. The mastermind panel is a Thursday general session panel where we kind of ask them to take off their brand hats and talk more as sales and marketing people about the industry. Joni, anything you want to chime in about this? Joni and I moderate this together, and we really enjoy it. So anything you want to share on this session?
Yes, it's one of my favorite things to do. I love it. And as you said, the faces, some of the faces have changed here, which I think is going to make it really interesting to see how these, the ones that have been doing it so long, like Vicki and Dondra, are obviously, and Ken, are obviously going to hold the show. And these other guys are going to have to catch up with them. Let me just say that Mary Pat and I do not make it easy for them to answer the questions. We really do give it to them, and it's a whole lot of fun to see their reactions.
Just to give you guys an idea, last year we actually asked them if they had a guilty pleasure they wanted to share, and if you could hear what was shared on that stage. But what it does for all of you is it makes you feel a little closer to these folks and understand what gets them up in the morning and what makes them motivated to be in this business, which is what we all need, some motivation. So the President's Panel, these are all new faces this year. Well, one or two exceptions. Rick's been up there before, but actually Rick is the only exception. Everybody else is brand new in their roles, and so we're really excited about this. This is quite a star-studded list, but Arnie will get into serious conversations with these folks. And I think what's important here is to remember that the leadership has changed, but the focus on the travel agency community remains. So it's important for you to be there and hear what they're thinking in terms of direction, but flip it around and recognize that it's important that they want to be in front of all of you. I think it's a very good sign for our industry. So looking really forward to it this year. Our closing general session, this is another brand new thing. This is not all cruise, folks. We also have Disney. Carl Holtz is going to join us and kind of give us an overview of all the Disney products and services, what's happening with the parks, what's happening with the cruise line, what's happening with vacation ownership. We have not had Disney at this event before, so we're excited about that, and that'll be on Friday. So let's talk about exhibitors. There is a plethora of different companies clamoring to get in, actually. We're really excited about this. We have airlines, we have attractions, business tools. So you need a website, do you need marketing services, whatever kind of business tools you might be looking for, there are suppliers in that category. Obviously, cruise. Destinations, and that's a growing segment for us. Many of you may start selling a destination as a pre or post, but the destination market is exploding for us. You'll see really cool destinations, Israel, India, adding to the roster, and so go on and take a look. Lots of different destinations represented. Hotels and resorts, we've always had very strong partnerships with the hotel community. Quite a few of those companies represented. Package vacations, also another significant part for us. Obviously, if you're selling cruise, you're also selling wholesalers and package vacations. So you'll see all the players that you'd expect to see and some new ones too. And so take a look at that list as well. Professional services. So if you're looking, and we've found among our attendees and people who are registering, many who are looking to either change host agencies, get a host agency for the first time, look at a consortia, try and decide some business decisions for your company. And so that's what the professional services segment includes. And it's pretty much everybody is represented there as well. Tour operators I covered in vacation packages, but we have all of those. And then transportation services. So you'll see like the car rental services, the limousine services, another area that's growing for us as well. So get your customers to and from the airport, to and from the ship. So every exhibitor you could think of coming to join us. Here's our sponsorship list. Looks like a lot of logos. Well, there's a lot of people that want to support this segment. So this is just an example. These are all the folks that have sponsored specific events or are giving us significant investment in developing the content or developing events for us. So we're really thankful to all of them for their support of Cruise World. Okay, ship inspections. We'll just go through this quickly so you get an idea of who you get to see. And this may still change. There may still be a ship or two added. Jen's probably cringing that I'm saying that out loud, but you never know. There are a couple ships still coming into port. We're trying to work with them, but it's all about customs and clearance and that kind of thing. So you never know. Another ship or two may get added at the end, but we recommend if you are interested in seeing any of these ships that you register soon, because ship inspections are on a first-come, first-served basis. And actually, at the moment, I think Disney is at waiting list point because it's already full. But there are plenty of ships on here. But if you're thinking of coming to the event, I recommend that you do register soon because the spots fill up for the ship inspections. Okay, educational tracks. We have 4 tracks listed here, but this is a living and breathing event. I tell everybody this because I just don't stop. I keep wanting to add things. I'll get emails from agents saying, I'd really like you to cover this, or I'd love to teach this. So these 4 tracks already existed when we built this PowerPoint a few days ago. And then last night I added a 5th track, which is called Expanding Your Horizons. And so that's kind of unique little markets where you could make some more money, a unique idea on things like air travel, selling air tickets and making money, on European FIT, a very specific marketplace, on certain niches you could add like ski or golf, that kind of thing. So these 4 tracks already existed. That entire market is up on the website for you to check out. Then there is a 5th track that has just been added on Friday. So these sessions will all be on Friday. They're designed for you to kind of pick and choose. You don't have to follow one track. You can pick and choose what sessions you want to go to, but they're set up so that you can sort of think, okay, these sessions are for me to develop better business practices. These sessions are what's trending, like river cruise, huge hot marketplace, right? Strategies to grow or ways that you can grow your business. There's social media sessions in there, different tools for growing, and advanced agency management. They're going to be a little bit higher up sessions. They're going to be run by folks who've been in the business a long time. They're expecting to talk to somebody who's got a little bit more already developed. But doesn't mean you can't walk in there and join that session if you really want to learn. So that's cool too. We're open to you coming to whatever sessions you want. Here's the days at a glance. So Wednesday is our first day. This is still growing as well. Right now we have 2 CLIA training sessions. We have workshops in the morning. Then we are adding a lunch in the middle of here. There will be a lunch break, a sponsored lunch break in the middle on Wednesday. And then we have concurrent educational sessions in the early afternoon and our opening general session at 3:30. And our think tank, which is another area that Joni and I have fun with, is closing on Wednesday evening. And I'll get into that as we get to the specifics a little bit here. So CLIA training. We have 2 classes scheduled for CLIA, both of these brand new for 2015. So if you haven't done CLIA training this year, you haven't done these sessions. So the first one, must-have apps and resources, really cool, really, really cool 1-hour session. Gives you kind of a how-to and some ideas for apps and resources, obviously. And the second session, making suppliers your BFFs. This is another area everybody always needs help in, getting BDM development and mastering that. So those are the CLIA training sessions offered. They each give CLIA credits. And then VAX, another strong partner of ours. VAX is doing some training. For those of you that are not familiar with VAX, it's a very common tool for the agency community to use for bookings through the tour operator segments. And so they're going to do a pretty significant training program They did this with us last year, really well received. So that's also them. And then the afternoon sessions, we have some of the members of the Travel Weekly does a survey every year, the Reader's Choice Awards. It's out now. Many of you may vote in that. We hope that you do. Starwood and Norwegian Cruise Lines are among those that are always in the top 5 in travel agency training every single year in that research. So they come and give you their current training overviews for NCLU, for SPG Pro. You'll get, and there's 2 different sessions available for you to see. This year we've also added 2 sessions, and this I have to thank Jen Cruzy for. She's in tune with what you guys need, and CRM and training in CRM was really important, so we've added that this year thanks to a partnership with Sabre. So we're doing 2 sessions with Sabre. One is a more basic Sabre training session on using online tools for customer relationship management, and the second one is a little more advanced, using their word-based, I'm saying that wrong, their office-based system for groups. And then, of course, and this is something that's near and dear to me, we offer the Special Needs Group certification. We helped launch that at Cruise World 5 years ago, and it's an amazing program. If you haven't done it, they've already certified over 2,500 travel agents in accessible travel. Great, great training program, and you get certification when you go through this training. Okay, and then here's our general session. The CEO Conversation with Arnold Donald will be on Wednesday afternoon, followed by a session with our host agency partners. And what we look to do here is give you some ideas on why these organizations work for their members. So you may see some of your fellow colleagues up on the stage. If you're happy where you are, maybe you'll learn a really cool tip from somebody that's up on that stage talking. If you're thinking about moving, you'll hear some ideas of why these organizations, and you can see them up on the screen, provide a good opportunity for the members that are part of those organizations. So great session every year. And here's the think tank. And last year we had Vicki and Dondra join us for the think tank. And as you can see, Vicki Freed, very rare picture of Vicki Freed in bare stockings. The think tank is at the end of a very, very busy day. You've been talked to for a whole day. What we like to do at the think tank is we like to hear from you. It's a chance for you to share with your peers, share ideas, share problems, share solutions. It's tech, it's firing my customers, it's, oh my God, what do I do when my family is such a bad partner in travel, whatever the conversation may be, it goes all over the map. And Joni and I partner in this as well. And the reason that Vicki is barefoot is because when we started this the first year, Joni and I had been on stage all day and we were exhausted and in our heels. And we opted to kick them off, grab our microphones, and run around the room barefoot. Well, Travel Weekly wrote an article about the success of the barefoot think tank, and it's stuck. So now anybody that joins us that gets up and grabs a microphone, we require they do it. So great, great conversation. And I likened it to the travel professional community the first year we did it, because it, just like the travel professional community, is a very smart group of agents in one place sharing and having conversations. So we can handle about 300 people in this room, so this is also, you need to sign up ahead of time to be a part of this. Joni, anything you want to add on the think tank?
Yeah, I want everybody to take a really close look at Vicki Freed's skirt, if you can. You might notice it's dollars. It's like a money skirt. And she just cracked me up. She wore that and took her shoes off. And I mean, you know, she got so down and dirty with everybody to answer questions, as did Dondra. This was really a great think tank. Actually, every year it's been amazing. And you know, I don't think that they're going to be sponsoring it this year because they're busy doing another sponsorship. But all in all, you folks, this is a must-go-to when you come to the show. And you're going to be tired that day, but it's so worth it because you get to hear from each other. And you learn so much from your peers. It's one of my favorite things to do at the show.
Yeah, people take pages and pages of notes. They're writing things down. And if you can see up on the left, up on the corner up there, there is a bar because, look, we've been working all day. So we also offer you a few drinks so you can relax. Not too many because we need you to focus, but a couple drinks and a couple chips. It's a nice experience. So we hope you to be there with us. So now we're on to Thursday. Thursday's at a glance. So we have breakfast sponsored by Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. They wanted to be there for breakfast this year. For some reason, they want to get up early. So Dondra and Vicki will be our hosts for breakfast in the morning. Then we have sponsored workshops all morning long. Various suppliers, I'll take you through that as well. And then our general session and lunch, which is sponsored by Discover, that afternoon, followed by the exhibitor showcase. This is something that's different from any other industry event you'll go to. We only have one day of trade show, folks, so make good use of it. What we've seen in the past, and many of you may have seen and done yourselves if you've been at one of these events, is there's 2 days of trade shows, and on the second day, the poor vendors are standing around, and there's no one to talk to. Everybody's gone home or they think they're done. Well, this is a one-day trade show hundreds of vendors in that room for you. You have one afternoon to get all of your shopping done for your business, and it's much more effective. We've had a very bustling showcase every year that we've done it this way. So I think we've found a success here, and we hope that you agree. You'll be busy and you'll be tired, but then we end at 4:30 with a reception sponsored by the Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention and Visitors Bureau. So you can have a little drink, have a snack, and celebrate all the business that you conducted that day. So here's, as we said, breakfast sponsored by Royal Caribbean Celebrity, great partners to Travel Weekly. Here's your selection of training workshops. So you can see this is not just cruise, okay? We have Alaska, we have Avalon Waterways River, we have Avoya, exclusive group travel, one of our new partners for all of the events that we work on, Steve Gorga in his new role. Really phenomenal organization that only works with travel agents. Another river cruise, huge market. Uniworld, another supporter. Carnival, obviously there are cruise lines here. We're thrilled to have Carnival with us. CCRA, great session planned from CCRA, another good partner of ours. Disney Cruise Line, Greater Fort Lauderdale CVB, our hosts every year, and we love working with them. And NextGen also offering a supplier session. So you get to choose one in each time bank. So, keep that in mind. You only get to go to one of each of these. And then our general session and lunch. So this is when our mastermind panel comes into play, as Joni and I talked about. Richard Fain is our CEO taking the stage this day. At the end of this, we will go to our exhibitor showcase, which starts with Dondra and the ribbon cutting and champagne toast, which is really nice. See, we like to have fun while we're working. So we'll do the champagne toast and open the exhibitor showcase. Our sponsor reception, look at this. We had a Cruise World. How cool is that? They made us an ice sculpture last year with our logo on it. Just an awesome thing. Thanks to Hello Sunny. As I said, great partners of ours. And so what you'll see is business keeps getting done. Some folks don't stop talking. They stay at their booths, and they're working with agents through the whole cocktail reception. I walk around trying to deliver drinks because I want them to still have fun. But business gets done on that trade show floor. And Friday the 13th, oh my goodness, Friday the 13th, my wedding anniversary. This is what Friday looks like. Breakfast sponsored by Tricep, general session, banks of concurrent sessions. These are peer-to-peer sessions. Either it's an agent teaching you or someone who has spent their entire career only teaching agents. That's what you're going to hear from on Friday. Lunch sponsored by Norwegian, where Andy gets up, and more sessions in the afternoon. Tons of content for you to choose from. And then we have a closing sponsored workshop given by a friend of Joni and I, who also active in this community. Just a great New Yorker. We'll get to him in a moment. So here we go. Breakfast is sponsored by Tricep Solutions. They're new to joining us this year. We've worked with VAX, but if many of you probably know Tricep, they are a part of the Mark Travel Corporation, great partner to Travel Weekly. So this will likely be technology-based breakfast in the morning, and the team from Tricep and VAX will all be there to join us. So this should be a great breakfast presentation. And our general session, the CEO that day is Frank Del Rio, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, talking about all the brands under that portfolio. Then we have our president's panel, took you through that before, closing with Carl Holtz from Disney. And here's a look at our educational sessions. So we talked about the tracks. In each of these tracks, there's one session for each track in each time bank. But don't worry, you don't have to go to all the business practice ones or all the trending ones. We are very open. You can register and set up your schedule ahead of time, and then if you get on site and you really would rather go to a different session, that's okay too. We just try and get an idea for numbers for our speakers, but we know there's some change, some flexibility people need when they get on site. They see a session and they say, you know what, I just got a huge group. I need to go to Stewart's Group Camp. Okay, then you go and do Stewart's Group Camp. So here's an example of some of your sessions. That top session, Understand and Analyze Your Business by the Numbers, is given by Jeff Millar. Jeff is a very, very frequent contributor to the travel professional community. Many of you might know his name. Also a very good dear friend of mine. He has come into this business and just revolutionized the way that business, his business, Ultimate All-Inclusive Travel, operates. And he's a stickler. He came from banking. He's a stickler for figuring out what numbers mean in your business. So that's what that session is all about. Selling Today's Modern Family Vacations, another travel professional community member. That's Sally Black. She also is a specialist in family travel. Great, great new session we've added this year. And then that other person sounds familiar to me. Establishing and managing your home-based travel business. That would be Joni. So Joni's competing against some of her own community members in that session, but, you know, that's the way it works. And then we have our legal partner, Mark Pestron, doing a legal session. He does two, one for advanced agencies and one for newer folks to the business. Legal, very, very important when you're running your own business, so we have one for each of you. In the second bank, we're going to look at service fees for the first time. We haven't done that as an individual session in several years. that is an agent who is a member of our Global Travel Marketplace community. She joined us at Global Travel Marketplace, which is another Travel Weekly event. She's going to be teaching that. The Social Media Starter is going to be launched by a friend of mine from Click the Mouse. Many of you may know her. She's also active in the community talking about social media starters. And Stuart Cohen, for those of you that know Stuart, one of the best trainers in the business, just launched a new group training program, and we have arranged through arrangement with Travel Weekly and Stuart for him to do for the first time live some of his new boot camp. So this is a really good opportunity for us. We're thrilled to have Stuart joining us and willing to do this live because I know he doesn't share this very often, so we're excited to have Stuart with us. And there's my friend Andy. I swoon a little bit when I see Andy up on stage. Andy will be joining us for lunch. He joined us for lunch last year. He's a great partner to Travel Weekly, great partner, as all of you know, to the travel agency community. And he will be joining us as president this year. Last year he was EVP when he took the stage. This year he will be joining us as the president. So it'll be great. And here's some of a look at your afternoon sessions. Again, I'm not going to go through all this, but you can see there's Stuart again. There's an advanced social media. That is Dave Holman, also a member of the community, active travel agent running the advanced social media session. We're going to do small ships and river cruises. Those will be suppliers from those segments in a panel discussion. The Building Your Reputation, a study in PR. Craig, who I know is a very familiar name in the travel professional community, and Jason Olson, two buddies from the West Coast Travel Agency Marketplace, will be presenting that session together. And there's your basic legal do's and don'ts from Mark Pestrunk for those of you that are still trying to just figure out what you need to know legally. And as I said, we've added some new sessions, so I recommend you go on the website and take a look because there's been new sessions added, which we're really excited about. And here's Lou, Captain Lou, who I met actually through Joni in the community several years ago. And Lou sponsors a session, so this is a paid session by Lou and his company on his group cruise program, which I know there's some members of the community who have joined and have done really well with this. This is a sponsored session that Lou pays for every year, and really high energy New Yorker, so you'll enjoy getting to meet him if you're there for that. Here's the deal, folks. We still have a discount. Our early bird extension ends on September 15th, so between now and then the discount is still $25. And here's the best part. Because you are a member of the travel professional community, you would save an additional $25 off the registration fee by using the HBTA code, Home-Based Travel Agent. So until September 15th, that's a $50 savings for all of you to join us. And obviously, some of you will come for free, but that's the plan. And here's what it includes. It includes your keynotes, your general sessions, your conference sessions, your sponsored educational sessions, the exhibitor showcase, sponsored meal functions, and, of course, our ship inspections. And there you see the STAR program. We're going to get into this because this is an additional opportunity, and I think that the members of this community are among the most qualified. So we're going to talk about this a little, and that's the web address. But now, Jen, I'm going to let you, because Jen works so hard at this process of going through the applications and qualifying folks for this Select Travel Agent Recognition Program, that I can't do it justice. So, Jen, these slides are yours. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Mary Pat. And thanks again to Joni and Sandy for hosting us today on this webinar. I know Mary Pat and I are really happy to be here, and we are both really excited about the jam-packed and quite diverse Cruise World agenda for 2015. So we very much appreciate the opportunity to share our story with the travel professional community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's my pleasure to have been tasked today with introducing you all to the Travel Weekly Cruise World STAR program. So getting right down to it, what is the STAR program? As the acronym STAR STAR alludes, Travel Weekly will be recognizing a select group of travel advisors at Cruise World this year and hosting them as VIP guests at the event. I guess the next big question is who or what is a STAR? To mirror the diversity of the event's agenda, Cruise World Stars, and we call them Stars, will be a diverse group and a strategic mix of travel professionals with varied specialty focus, varied levels of experience and tenure, but who all share a common desire to thrive and really grow as professionals retailing travel products and services. 300 stars will be selected and immersed into what I like to call an enhanced Cruise World experience to maximize the value derived from attending the event. This is a huge investment by Travel Weekly in the future of our industry and in you. And this program is really something unprecedented in our industry. The program's missions and its goals are really quite simple. They are to support the growth of the retail distribution channel, and in doing so, support travel advisors by fostering professional development. What sets the STAR program apart from attending Cruise World in a more traditional capacity is the intense focus placed on the importance of recognizing and leveraging the relationships that are so very important in business and in our beloved industry in particular. One of the primary features for STAR program participants is a schedule of one-on-one meetings with a variety of suppliers. This personalized FaceTime really provides opportunity to brainstorm on ways to create or even increase revenue opportunities. The suppliers and the exhibitors who attend the event are there for you, and they want to do everything in their power to help you succeed. And the STAR program one-on-one meetings are a perfect forum to explore ideas, talk marketing, and really cultivate beneficial relationships while on site at Cruise World. With that said, I'm going to move on to the STAR program benefits because we all like benefits. I'm sorry, Mary Pat, if I'm way off base with my slides, if you just shift back and forth. In addition to the invaluable one-on-one meeting schedule, STAR program participants receive complimentary full access VIP event registration as well as complimentary non-shared hotel accommodations for 2 nights. There are also a little additional VIP perks for our stars. We try to offer some regional experiences while in Fort Lauderdale to the group, and there's a wonderful VIP lounge available to plug in and catch up on work or even relax and unplug for a few minutes during downtime, which in fact, there isn't a whole lot of for our STAR participants. I want to be sure to point out that while, yes, stars receive complimentary registration and complimentary hotel accommodations, a special fancy lounge, there is certainly a higher level of commitment required as a program participant versus a traditional attendee. Stars are required to be on site and engaged in sessions and workshops at all times, and attendance at all scheduled supplier meetings is also a mandatory component of the program. The time commitment required, because it is a real-time commitment, should absolutely be taken into consideration when applying for the program or in choosing to register for the event traditionally, which will afford a much more flexible schedule. Listed somewhere, there we go, listed somewhere are the 4 hotels that we have secured for STAR program participants. Daily shuttle service to the convention center from these hotels and from these hotels back to, and from the convention center back to these hotels in the evenings will be provided. I know there's a typo on the slide and it says from these 3 hotels, but shuttles absolutely will run from all 4 of the hotels listed daily. And the Renaissance and the Hilton are certainly within walking distance as an option as well. The next slide highlights some of the feedback we received following last year's hosted program, and the success was really amazing and palpable during the event. We obviously couldn't share all of the testimonials, but there are countless accounts, as Mary Pat mentioned earlier, on the event website, which is www.cruiseworldshow.com. So please pop over and take a peek at what your colleagues had to say about attending the event and how it significantly impacted their business. I'm very confident each of you will connect in some way with the success stories that you can view on the website. We, of course, never, ever discount the value of networking and being social. There is a Cruise World page set up on Facebook, as well as a private group on Facebook for stars only. Both sites are a great resource for event info, and the STAR group has proven to be a great forum for advisors to connect pre-event. And I think the screen grab actually shows a thread on Cab or Rideshare for some of the lucky individuals who snapped up the invite from NCL for the Escape Pre-Inaug, which immediately precedes Cruise World. And as the event nears, there's talk of dinner plans and things like that, and we have some fun with it during and after the event as well. So like the Cruise World page, please, and if selected as a star, join the conversation in the private group. I think all I'm forgetting is how to apply to become a star. So to do so, you can visit the event website, which again is www.cruiseworldshow.com, and click on the star page for a link to the online application form. I know Mary Pat's next slide is about the great prizes offered for some lucky webinar participants, but I know we also wanted to take some questions, and as I'm flooded with questions daily, I thought I'd answer some of the common ones up front about the STAR program in particular before we open the lines, if that's okay with you.
Yes, I would love that. And actually, Jen, before you do that, I'm putting these names up because I just don't want any of you to reach me directly. No, I didn't put my name on here because I'm not as important at this moment. But Jen mentioned the VIP lounge, and before we move off the STAR program and get into the Q&A, just yesterday, Club Med came in and sponsored that VIP lounge because to Camille and to the folks at Club Med, that was a really important thing. So the suppliers that are there recognize the value of this program to them. And to Jen's point, It is a significant investment on the part of Travel Weekly. When we built this program, the reason we did it was because Travel Weekly cannot just support the top end of the market, the best sellers, the $2 billion a year businesses. We need to support the industry as it grows. So there are slots available at every level of development, and that's for a good reason, because Travel Weekly is here for the long haul, and we hope all of you are too. So Jen, let's do the Q&A.
Okay, the most common question I get regarding the STAR program is how long does it take to hear if I've been accepted? And while I wish there was a simple answer to this, there just isn't. Each and every application is considered individually, and each candidate is evaluated carefully. There have been over 1,200 visits to the application survey, and it is taking some time to get through them all. They are reviewed in the order received, so if you've applied and not heard back yet, your patience is very appreciated, and please know that we were working diligently at the task. If you have specific questions about an application submitted, please feel free to shoot me a note personally. My contact is up there on the screen. It's jcruzy@travelweekly.com, and I will follow up with you individually. If you have not yet applied for the program and will be doing so the second we wrap up this webinar, I do have some tips for expediting the application process. First, provide as much information as you can in the application about you, about your business, about your goals, about your stretch goals. There's open-ended fields in the application for this very purpose. The more information that you provide, the easier it is for our team to determine if the program is right for you. There will absolutely be delays in processing if we need to reach back out to you for additional information or to get some clarification in any way. My second tip in application pertains to the supplier reference. There is a request for a supplier reference for each application. If it's not provided, there again will be delays in processing. I'd also recommend touching base with the supplier reference you provide before providing a name and contact information within the application. Some organizations actually prohibit providing personal references, and more times than I can count, regretfully, a reference provided has no idea who the advisor is who provided their name, and this can also cause delay in application processing and tie things up. So while I know I'm not really answering the question definitively on how long, I'll say in a perfect case scenario, the timeline for application to offered acceptance can be as little as 2 days. But on the flip side, there are some applications that have been open for more than a month due to the reasons for delay I just highlighted. So lots of information about you, pre-screened references, and that will definitely help facilitate and expedite things. The other common question I get is, what if I'm already registered? Or should I register, like Mary Pat addressed earlier, or should I register while I'm waiting to hear about the program acceptance, or if I'm a big winner? If you have registered for the event and you have applied and accepted into the STAR program, we absolutely adjust the registration and refund the appropriate fees. We do have a price increase coming up on the 15th, so if you are not registered and are comfortable, are more comfortable registering while you wait to hear about your STAR program application, we will again adjust the registration accordingly should you be accepted into the program at a later date. So while that's probably clear as mud, Mary Pat, I don't know if you have anything else to add, or Sandy, are there any other questions in the queue?
Hi, thanks, ladies. This is a really exciting thing, and I plan to see you all at Cruise World, and I hope we see all of our agents as well. We do have a few additional questions. One of our agents is very forward-looking and wants to know if dates have been set for 2016's Cruise World.
Oh, wow, you're exhausting me. I'm actually flipping back so I can put there we go. I wanted to put the web address up on the screen while we're talking. You know, if they have, I don't have that information. So I'm sure that they have been, and we will post it on the Cruise World website unless Jen knows the answer to that question. Jen, do you know the answer to that question?
I would have to dig for the answer to that question, but there are dates set for Cruise
and they
World
are in November.
16th, and they are in November again, and we are again in Fort Lauderdale. I would have to dig for that contract. I'm just trying to get through 2015, Mary Pat.
You know what? I love that you guys are planning that. So yes, and I'm sure we have them, but it will be again in November. It's always around the same time every year. And you know, Sandy, while we're on that topic, we also do 2 other events, and I just want to make sure you know that: Global Travel Marketplace and Global Travel Marketplace West. And those events are very different. They are a maximum of 100 agents at each event. One is in the spring in Tucson, and one is in the summer in Florida. So you're welcome to look that information up as well. And look at this. I love our team. November 9th to the 13th. Thank you, Audrey, who's listening to me. November 9th to the 13th and at the Fort Lauderdale Convention Center. So there you go, folks. We expect to see whoever asked that question with us next year, November 9th to 13th. Okay.
Please flip
Okay, excellent. Thanks for
Everyone
that.
can see Audrey.
No, she just texted me. You gotta love technology. Anyway.
She's on our slide. She's on our slide of our team members.
Okay, and I think, Joni, did you want to say something else? Joni, are you there?
Hi, yes, sorry, you guys, I had to unmute myself. Forgot how to do it. I just wanted to go, can you go back to that slide with the website address on it again, ladies?
Absolutely. You know, Jen wanted me to show Audrey. She's adorable, but let's go
Okay,
back.
you can show her in a second. I just want to make sure everybody sees. Up in the corner, in case you didn't hear Mary Pat mention it, I want to make sure everybody that isn't going to apply for the STAR or, you know, but still wants to come to the show, please look at the code up on the top and use that code HBTA to save yourself a little bit of money. I just want to make sure that you utilize that and thank you all for being on here today. I really, really appreciate it. Taking it back to you, Sandy.
Well, that brings us to one of our next questions, and that is, what is the registration fee?
There we go. It is $175, the registration fee. So right now, there is a $25 discount through September 15th, and then if you register using Joni's code, it's $125.
Okay, excellent. And first of all, I want to let you all know that a lot of the comments that are coming through are compliments about this show from agents who have been there before. We've gotten a lot of really positive comments about relationships that were made with suppliers and with other agents. We've just gotten a tremendous number of people who are recommending this show to their fellow agents. So I wanted to let you know about that. One of our agents wants to know how this meeting, how Cruise World compares to other meetings out there that are also cruise-centric.
It's so much better. No, I'm sorry. That was a little flip on my part, wasn't it? You know, it's hard. I know you have a lot of decisions to make, and each one of these events is an investment in your time. It's an investment of your money. So it depends on what you need from your business. You know, this is a very professionally run event, but we have a lot of agents as speakers because we think it's important for you to hear from your peers. There is a significant number of cruise line executives, and the reason for that is they want to talk to all of you. So I think it's important as a professional to be able to come back and tell your customers, you know what, I heard from the president of Carnival Cruise Lines yesterday, or I heard from the president of Royal Caribbean. I think it's important. The ship inspections are a unique feature that we have that only CLIA offers ship inspections as a part of their events, and the CLIA event was in the early spring. So this is the only event in the fall where you can do multiple ship inspections while you're with us at the event. And the level of professionalism, in my opinion, of our attendees, of our exhibitors, of the Travel Weekly team that's a part of this is what makes this event so unique and so special. But I know you have a lot of choices, so take a good look at the content. Take a good look at the speakers. You know, listen to the testimonials from your peers. I promise they're not from us. They're from people who were there, and I hope that you'll find that this is really valuable.
Okay, fantastic. We've had several agents ask you to either put the slide back up or repeat which 4 hotels are part of the Cruise World meeting hotels.
Yes, I will. Now, just to be clear, these 4 hotels are the hotels where our STAR program candidates will be staying. So this isn't where we have rates for everybody in the general population. For the general population, the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Marina is our host hotel. For the STAR program participants, these 4 hotels each have blocks of space for our STAR agent attendees, just to be clear.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, go ahead.
We do have some shoulder night availability at discounted rates as well. So while the 11th and the 12th are complimentary for our stars, if you wanted to stay on for ship inspections or if you wanted to come in early to hit the ground running first thing Wednesday morning, we do have shoulder night availability at the STAR program hotels as well, and that's something that is addressed after acceptance into the program.
And you know, Jen, I'm glad you mentioned that. The other thing that all of you should know if you are coming in from out of town, this is an extremely popular time in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if it's the Escape, if it's the boat show, if it's a hot time in Lauderdale. So I would make your plans as soon as possible so that you can get your choice of rooms and nights. And we have seen that the market is really, really busy. So just giving everybody a heads up on that.
Okay, I think we'll take one more question. I just want to point out to our agents, there are a lot of questions coming in. If you could, Mary Pat, put that contact slide back up there. If we don't get to your question today, please see this contact information and phone numbers and email addresses of various people involved with Travel Weekly's Cruise World, so you can direct your question to the right person. And everybody is very happy to help. Just email them or give them a call and get all your questions answered. And the last question is, for people who are coming in from out of town, what days are the ship inspections taking place so they know when to plan their flights?
Yep, we have a ship inspection on Tuesday, one ship inspection on Tuesday, and then we have majority of our ship inspections are Saturday and Sunday. So the bulk of your ship inspection options are Saturday and Sunday. It is tough to make your travel plans when you don't know, you have to get, that's why it's important to know what ships you want to see and register as soon as possible to get on those ships, because, I go back and show you if I could figure out how to do that far back, but the number of ships we have is pretty significant, but they do fill up. And so to make your travel plans, you need to go in and register and know that you got a spot on that ship inspection. And so if you wanted to do the first ship inspection, you'd need to be in by Tuesday morning. And if you wanted to do the end ship inspections, a lot of people will leave on Sunday from the ship inspection to go to the airport. But bear in mind, if you're doing a ship inspection in Miami, you may want to fly home out of Miami instead of out of Fort Lauderdale. So some of the ship inspections are in Fort Lauderdale, and some are in Miami. So please keep that in mind when you're looking at your agenda. If you're flying home out of Fort Lauderdale, but your last ship inspection's in Miami, you might want to rethink that because it's easier.
Just a little tidbit there. At the convention center, we do have a room set aside for luggage storage, for secure luggage storage during ship inspection. So if you have a Saturday evening flight and you check out of your hotel, you can drop your bag off at the convention center, go on your ship inspection so you're not tugging it around with you, and then come back and pick it up and head to the airport.
Okay, that's really helpful. I've done that myself. That's a great feature. So do you want to talk a little bit more before we close about the giveaway of the registrations?
I'm going to put this slide up for just 1 second. And in addition to using the website, use our Facebook page. We're very active on there. Audrey, who was kind enough to pay attention and give me the dates for next year, is a big part of that Facebook communication. So use that page for information as well. We really like to engage in that area. The prizes. Here's what we're going to do. The numbers have been going up the whole time we were talking. So the reason we want to do this and announce it tomorrow is we want to make sure we have the whole list. So Joni and Sandy are going to get us the full list of everybody that's here. There were about 315 to 330 of you, so you know what your competition is. 10 people will win free registration to Cruise World. 5 people will win free air and registration to Cruise World. Yes, I said free air. See, we know that's important too. So we will get those names to Joni, to Sandy. We'll post them in the community. We will email you if you won tomorrow. But like I said, if you want to go on and you want to register today, we will refund your money if you win. So I promise we're not going to look and say, oh, you registered, so we're not going to pick you. We have nothing to do with it. The list is going to a list house to pull our winners, and we will let all of you know tomorrow. So we look forward to welcoming all of you. You'll get to meet all these friendly faces when you come and join us at Cruise World Live in November, and we really would love to meet you personally. So I hope that we get to see all of you there.
And I hope so as well. This has been a wonderful webinar. I want to thank our speakers. We've been talking about Travel Weekly's Cruise World. Our speakers have been Jennifer Cruz, Enrichment Program Consultant for Travel Weekly, Mary Pat Sullivan, President of Sullivan Marketing Advisors, and our very own Joni Ogg. Thank you, ladies, so very much.
Thank you all.
And I will be at Cruise World. I hope to see all of you there. And by the way, Mary Pat, my wedding anniversary is November 15th, so we can toast each other when we get down there. And thank you very much to all of our agents who have attended this webinar. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.